Hey guys, do you have a garage door that sounds so bad it sounds like it's gonna twist in half? It just screeches and grinds as it goes up and down every time. I've got one of those as well here, so mine hasn't been touched in over 12 years, so no lubrication whatsoever. So all the metal parts are just grinding on each other. So today we can get that fixed, and we can fix it pretty quick and actually pretty inexpensive as well. So let's get that done right now. Hey guys, first off, let's talk about a couple of the lubricants that we need to use and the one that we probably shouldn't, or possibly two. So the first ones that you should not use is going to be the WD-40, the regular WD-40. That's just basically a degreaser, and it's going to force any moisture out. So that's great for, the hinges in your house or something like that. But as far as this, with the clearances that we have here, you would be doing it every couple weeks to try to maintain that squeak. So a couple different options here, no sponsorship whatsoever. This is what I just picked up at Lowe's. It's the 3-in-1. It's a silicone based that you can put on and use. I've used this in the past. It does do well. Number two is also by Blaster, another silicone based that you can use. So any of these are going to be fine. This one here is actually made for garage doors, but really honestly you can pick up pretty much any lubricant if it's silicone based, or even white lithium grease. People say not to use that, but what they're really talking about is you don't want to use something like this in a tube that's going to be bulky and messy. If it's in a spray format, it's going to be just fine. It might leave a little bit of residue, but really there's going to be no problem. I mean, we're not saving lives here, right? So if you have something like this in your garage cabinet, I think you're going to be fine just using it. So let's get started and I'll show you where to apply it. Okay, and first off, I'm gonna show you, first of all, why you don't really wanna use the lithium grease, the thicker stuff, because it's really gonna kind of cause a mess here. So let's just kind of take a look. You put it in here, you put it in here. You're gonna have to basically work it in there, and it's gonna take, for one, a lot of time, and it's gonna be bulky. And what's gonna happen here is this stuff is, because it is so much thicker, it's actually probably gonna create more grime. Stuff's gonna stick to it, and it's not gonna be a good thing to use. So let's go ahead, get this wiped off, and then we're gonna go ahead and use the spray that we've talked about. All right, so first off, let's take a look before we spray this, and let's just see how tight this is, because this hasn't been, like I said, touched in over 12 years. So we have metal on metal turning every time this thing goes up and down. So you can see this actually takes a little bit of force to get this sleeve to turn in here. So as this door goes up and this door hinge actually binds and turns, this is trying to move in there, and that's where you're getting a lot of your noise right there. So after we spray this, I think that's gonna really help. Okay, now for our silicone spray. First, we can just make sure you've got a rag. You just put the rag here underneath and catch a little bit. Spray on the outside here around the edge. Then I would hit the inside. And this is a good time that if you have some safety glasses, you might want to put them on. This could shoot back at you and hit you in the eye. I'm not going to wear any, but if you think you should, I would go ahead and put them on. So we'll go ahead and do the inside and the outside on each side. We can spin this sleeve around. See how good that spins now? It's much better than before. So we're definitely making some progress already, and that's where a lot of those squeaks are gonna come from, is actually from these hinges right here when they're binding up and they won't hardly move. So, okay, for our spot number 2 to lube is gonna be the roller sleeve right here, and inside the roller sleeve where the shaft is. And you can see these are made with a lot of clearance. We'll do another video to where we can actually put some sleeves in here and eliminate some of this slop, but that's how they come kind of from the factory. But here's this sleeve right here. You can see that takes a little bit to turn that one as well. So let's go ahead and lube just right here on the end. Right down there, inside. And then try to get it inside. Get it inside that sleeve right there where it comes out. So we can spin this thing a little bit, get some of that worked in there. Okay, when you watch this, watch how much metal will probably come out of here. You can see the gray that'll be coming out. All of that has been metal on metal rubbing over all the years. That's the gray material you see coming out because it's had no lube. All right, so this is actually the fun part right now, is this spring, because we're just gonna really put it on and be really generous with this. Like I said, this thing's probably begging for mercy because it hasn't had anything in 12 years. So let's go ahead and just start here. I put a rag underneath as you go along, all the way down. And I would definitely do it at the top and let it run through, and don't spray from the bottom up because it's not really gonna penetrate as well. Just make sure you're spraying that nice and good. Let it set in. And then when we're done, we'll let this thing run through the garage door 2 or 3, 4 times and kind of work it in. And we can always do another level of lube as well on top of that. So, all right, and the next spot's going to be the hub, which actually houses the cable that actually winds up around this hub. As the garage door comes up, the cable will wind around here. So it's attached at the very bottom of the door. You can see here it goes all the way to the bottom. So there's a little bearing here. We're just gonna go ahead and put some in here. And I like to actually put some on this as well, just to lubricate where the cable is actually gonna be riding on as well. And then lastly, you can squirt here right on the hinge of the trolley where it comes right there. Just give a little bit there on that where it's gonna rotate on that pin. And also note that do not spray any lubricant down here in the track whatsoever. You wanna keep that debris free, and you wanna be able to make it where the rollers will actually roll and they're not gonna slide. So just make sure you keep that nice and clean and dry, and that'll definitely help it out. Okay guys, here's the cabinet of curiosities right here. So once again, going over any of these that are silicone based, anything that you may have in your garage that's silicone based, just go ahead and use it. Even if it's lithium based and it's a spray, you're gonna be just fine. So, and again, just don't use the regular WD-40. I don't wanna throw WD-40 under the bus. They make great products. They do make a special lithium based one as well. So you can always look at that option too. So if this is you guys' first time checking out the channel or seeing the video, please leave me a comment below. Let me know how it worked for you. And stay tuned, and there'll be a follow-up version of a garage maintenance video too.